to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to the Mary Goulet Show, cultivating a rich interior. Now, here's Mary.
Welcome to the program. Okay, happy National Day of Prayer. Here on Cultivating a Rich Interior, one of the best, most efficient ways to cultivate a rich interior is through prayer. And so this is a national holiday. There are 40,000 events around the nation taking place today in its 67th year. So that's pretty magnificent. And all religious groups are involved in this. It's not just Christian, Catholic, Jewish. It's everyone. Everyone has a stake in this claim. So there is a website, nationaldayofprayer.org, which will list all of the events around the country. The theme this year is unity. Boy, oh boy, do we need that. Gee whiz. So find your prayer that works for you. I can give you some ideas. Of course, well, I'm Catholic, Christian Catholic, and Jesus Christ gave us the prayer he said to pray to God, and that is the Our Father. Can't go wrong with that. How many times can you say that in a day? If you pray a rosary, you're saying it, 6 times? It's a good way to start your morning. Very quick. And then praying the rosary. There's so many. I was going to get into a segment of different prayers, so I'm kind of hesitant to go into that right now with you. But the National Day of Prayer, I'm glad it brings it into our consciousness and conversation with others, because you can say to anyone, hey, it's National Day of Prayer, and be interesting to hear how other people look at it, think about it, react to it, act on it, or none of the above. But if it's alive in you and you say one thing to someone else, it could be alive in that person or someone they happen to mention it to. So I think it's an important thing to acknowledge. It's funny because I've had conversations with various moms over the years and in, my kids' school. And I remember going to dinner with like 7 other moms, and somehow we got on the topic of praying and church or God or whatever. And I remember a couple of them saying, oh, I'm good. I know how to, I've got my way of praying. I'm like, cool. And then another one said, well, really don't need prayer that much. I said, okay, well, let's just do a survey at the table. Because our kids were little. I said, so one of your children wakes up in the middle of the night, burning up, 102.3 fever, and you're concerned because you have no idea what's wrong, and you want to know exactly, how do I take care of this child because I don't even know what's wrong with them. Is it strep? Is it, some sickness? What is it? I said, what's the first thing that pops in your mind? And they go, that's not fair. You can't pull the God card. I said, I would preemptively pull the God card on every single moment of my day, then hope that I get an answer at 2, 3 in the morning. And that's how I live my life. Because if you have some devotion to God and respect and veneration to the Holy Family and to the Trinity, I think you're in better stead than if not. Now, I'm not saying that everything in your daily life will be perfect. Things will still come and go, but you'll be able to have that ability to call on the grace of God and the Blessed Mother to intercede on your behalf to help solve whatever's going on in your life. And one of the biggest things for me, praying the rosary especially, and the Divine Mercy Chaplain, and the Memorar. I've got a lot of them. Really quick prayers that make a big difference. Just being able to pray those, you feel connected. And even if things are chaotic, the prayer calms you down. May not take the problem away completely, but it helps you manage it and cope with it and make the best choices. That's the beauty of prayer. Prayer is not superstitious. Prayer is an act of faith and then building into trust, which deepens faith and increases trust. So it's a nice, wonderful spiral up. And it's important to recognize that I don't care, like listening to Donald Trump today, prayer is what this nation is built on, gives us faith, and we should have it in our day every day. God bless you, God bless America, etc. It's a big foundational piece. And if we think we don't need God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, Mary, saints, our angels, then good luck. Let me know how that works for you. Because there have been times in my life, I've always had, at worst, a low-level awareness, acknowledgement of my faith. I think you just, when we're in our 20s or teens, 20s, whatever, we become arrogant and think we got this. And that old adage of, oh, please, God, help me, help me, help me. And then when you get a sign of help, then you go, okay, God, I got it. I'll take it from here. And we do that without even thinking about it. And when we get older and we have children and the children grow through their stages of growth and life and learning and, exploring and experimenting and all that, I'll tell you this, parents double down on prayers. And I go to a daily mass here in San Diego, and, people go into mass at 8 o'clock. It's over around 8:30. They move on with their day. And, we're walking out to the parking lot. One guy in particular, but definitely several others. Hey, Mary, how are the girls? I'm like, they're good. And he has grandchildren. So he said, I still pray for my kids every day and my grandchildren. You never, ever, ever stop worrying about them. We can't be so arrogant to think that we can't pray for our loved ones and for ourselves. So I would adopt a couple of prayers. If you want to stick to whatever your denomination is, if you're attracted to my show, you are maybe more Christian or curious about it, or Catholic. I've taught several of my Jewish friends how to pray the rosary, a Hail Mary, and to teach them, hey, how does Mary go from the Old Testament into the New Testament, into being the Queen of Heaven, Daughter of God, Mother of God, Spouse of the Holy Spirit. She rocks. She's something else. So getting to know her would be very cool. And starting with the National Day of Prayer, even going online, like I said, nationaldayofprayer.org has, I don't think it's really like saying a lot of prayers. There are a lot of comments from people around the country about this day. There are supporting materials on the site, which is cool. How to know God, how to pray for America. What is prayer? Does prayer work? Why pray? Why pray? And then I think you can even put in your own prayer requests. That's another cool thing. A lot of sites will say, hey, give us your petition. What do you want us to pray about for you? And there literally is a group of people with that organization that on a daily basis puts all your prayers in a hat, so to speak, and will pray a rosary with the intention of your petitions, what you're asking for. There's also a cool history of prayer in America on this website. So, okay, going back to one, I love that faith is being unified. Whatever your faith is in America, we're accepting you. And that's awesome, respecting you. I just would love to see people have more faith because it makes you a better person, makes all of us better people. It manages our tendency to have fear, to worry, to feel overwhelmed, to feel anxiety and stress. So I don't know if any of you have heard my other episodes, but like about 2 years ago, I started getting freeway anxiety due to some major stress that just built up in my central nervous system, reptilian brain. That's a whole nother explanation. But suffice it to say, every time I got on the freeway to come to this studio, I would basically have an anxiety attack. And I'm like, well, I can't stop doing my show, so I got to figure something out. So when I hit the freeway, I'd start praying a rosary. By the time I got off the freeway, I was finishing the rosary. And with each decade, there's 5 decades, I could feel myself calming down. And then it pretty much abated, but if I were under a lot of stress for any particular reason and a little anxious, I'm a little high-strung as it is, it might start, and the anticipation of it maybe happening, I just keep praying Hail Marys. Well, today I drove in, and on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being bad, I was like a 0.5, not even a 1 on the scale. So prayer helps your nervous system, your mental, emotional, psychological, of course, spiritual side of you. It's powerful. Hey, give it a shot. And if you want to know how to pray the rosary, just email me, mary@marygoulet.net, and I'd be happy to share it with you. All right, we'll be right back on The Mary Goulet Show.
In the military, things can change in an instant. At Navy Mutual Aid Association, we understand because it's our life too. That's why our dedication to serving the life insurance needs of our military veterans and their families is unrivaled. Navy Mutual offers superior life insurance protection without military service restrictions and limitations. A single focus on providing the peace of mind military families are looking for. That's what we do. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve. Call 800-628-6011 or go to NavyMutual.org.
Tired of presentations with no impact, no inspiration, and no traction? Do dull speakers have you and your team disengaged and distracted by smartphones? Christopher McCullough brings energy, insights, and 2 decades of experience, delivered with punch, humor, and heart. Your team will leave energized, uplifted, and with a sense of purpose. Visit ChristopherMcCullough.com to bring some heat to your next speaking engagement. McCulloughe. ChristopherMcCullough.com.
One person has the power to change the world, impact millions of lives, and leave a legacy for lifetimes to come. That person is you. In the New York Times bestseller, What is Your What? Steve Olsher, award-winning author and founder of the Reinvention Workshop, reveals his proven process that has helped thousands of men and women discover, share, and monetize the one thing they were born to do. Grab your free copy now at www.whatisyourwhat.com/free. That's www.whatisyourwhat.com/free.
Take a break from politics. Tune in and learn something. WS Radio shows are worth your time and are filled with tips and advice. Add us to your lunch routine and we'll give you a meal for your mind.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.
Take a break from politics. Tune in and learn something. WS Radio shows are worth your time and are filled with tips and advice. Add us to your lunch routine and we'll give you a meal for your mind.
I've been bragging about Progressive Medical Center to you guys for years, and I'm so excited to have Dr. Agoli with us because, Dr. Agoli, a lot of people walk through your doors, and some of their biggest problems are they're just fatigued, they're tired all the time, and even though they're dieting and exercising, they cannot get the weight off. Why is that?
It's a combination of poor metabolism, inappropriate eating, but more importantly, it's due to a lack of education and really doing the right testing. A lot of our patients are metabolically compromised. What does that mean? Their metabolism is not functioning. The metabolism is responsible for all physical and chemical processes necessary to sustain life, and that includes energy. And without cellular energy, your body is not going to be a burning machine. Let's get back and teach our listeners to be a fat-burning machine.
It's been a lot easier to maintain my weight since Progressive Medical Center started treating me with all-natural supplements, learning proper nutrition, and that can be you today. No more frustrations about being tired or overweight. So why don't you get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today through progressivemedicalcenter.com.
This is your life, live it well.